I have a Funko Pop. I got a Funko Pop yesterday. And it's the cutest little thing I've ever seen. I'm like, I'm a Funko Pop. This Funko Pop might live longer than me.
This project is insane in the best way possible. Just seeing the way that Superman and the Justice Gang, Metamorpho, are bringing so much hope to people. I'm excited to see what audiences will say after. But I wanted to start off with Isabela. I saw that you mentioned in an interview that working with James Gunn was a career goal for you. And so I'm curious, what was that first day like on set? What emotions did you feel kind of stepping into Hawkgirl and being on James Gunn's world that he created?
I guess I was definitely nervous because he is somebody whose work I've admired for a really long time. Love his look too, the white hair, it's so iconic. And I guess I had always heard things about him and never really had that experience, but yeah, I mean we met on Zoom before I actually met him in person, and he was very nice. I was really surprised at how nice he was. And then when we met in person, he was very professional, but I really didn't get to know the guy until later. But he did tell me that day that we did the camera test that I got the role of Hawkgirl. Wow. And he was very gentle because I was clearly very emotional about it.
We were like, oh man, this childhood Isabela is like very excited for this moment.
Yeah. And I wanted to tell my mom right away. And the fact that he's a dog lover is definitely a green flag. It's very reassuring. You know, you want to work with people who like dogs.
Mm-hmm. If not, next project, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Nathan, for you, I mean, bringing in Guy Gardner now for the first time in live action, being a fan of comic books yourself, what did that mean to you to be portraying this character?
You know, what's great is that there hasn't been a Guy Gardner yet. So I get to decide, I get to set the tone. I get to say, this is who he is. I don't have to I don't have anybody comparing my version of the character to anyone else's. There's never been anybody throwing out a first impression before I got to. So this is canon now.
It's iconic.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is. If there's any other iterations now, they'll be looking to you, right? And seeing that for inspiration. I love it. I mean, you guys were hilarious all together. And Eddie, for you, I mean, Mr. Terrific, we've seen bits and pieces of him in Arrow. We saw it in the comic books and the animated as well. But what was that element that you wanted to bring to him that really made him your own for future iterations or for any future storytelling he might go through?
I honestly don't even know if I can answer that. I think that's more of an audience question. What did you get from it that's different? I used all of that most of it as like reference material, but I was approaching this character like I approach anything that I do. You know, I studied as much as I could, and then I threw myself into the experience to the extent that I wanted to curate my experience.
We went to a movie and I asked you what your feelings were about all the kids who were going to dress up like Mr. Terrific for Halloween, for Comic-Cons, and how that made you feel.
There's no words that can describe the beauty of that, and I feel like, you know, when you're in a Superman movie and they put as much into it as they are, and you already see it blowing up the world, the movie hasn't even come out yet. It's like a big thing, and I know that kids are gonna. I have a Funko Pop. I got a Funko Pop yesterday. And it's the cutest little thing I've ever seen. I'm like, I'm a Funko Pop. This Funko Pop might live longer than me.
Did you get to display it somewhere already, or
it's just in my. I haven't opened it. I don't think I ever will. I'm just gonna keep it there.
Yeah, once you open it, it's worthless.
I don't think anybody opens Funko Pop.
Okay, is that the way
not
that
supposed
works?
to open.
like just there for the collectible aspect of it all, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Mr. Terrific also, in my opinion, is a lead supporting character in this, where we kind of see him take that step forward before everyone else does to really help Superman out in this journey. Would you be open to...
So I made the cut?
You made the cut. Would you be open to a solo film moving forward, given that fans are already excited to see him?
I saw how hard David worked. Absolutely not. No.
I'm open to it. I'm very
go.
open to it. And
That's a lot of work.
Yes.
No, I mean, the story needs to go where the story's going to go. And if that's a story that they want to tell, then I'll do it.
We heard it
I think
here.
we should CGI in your techno chair, though.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
That was torture.
It hurt me to watch.
Watching him walk around in his techno chair
Yeah.
was painful for us.
Yeah.
What was the practicality of that?
I mean, it was a practical chair that weighed, I don't know. I found out that he had the same amount of weight on his body, but he wasn't complaining. I wasn't complaining either, but
We're
my
not
face was
complaining.
complaining.
No.
I was
You're just
in pain.
Crying inside.
I was crying inside.
Yeah. There's an art to letting people know you're pissed off without saying it. I think we all mastered that on this set.
You're like, listen, after dealing with all these stunts, with everything, we've got it down.
Yeah, I won't make you miserable, but you'll know that I'm miserable.
Oh, I'm gonna rewatch and be looking out for those little bits and pieces. And Anthony, for you especially, having this practical costume, what was that last element for you of whether it was being in that makeup chair and putting everything on, or finally being on set that really solidified the character?
You know, I mean, there were so many components to it, and it was a long, long process. I think it really kind of landed for me when I would walk on set and just see people's expressions change from, you know, like looking at me when I first show up in the day with a coffee, to then seeing them see Metamorpho and just the kind of like look that would come over their faces. And yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that he is essentially this monster, but has immediately when we first meet him, we see the heart, we see the vulnerability, you know, when he looks across and sees his son.
Yeah.
What were those early conversations like with James of making sure to balance both of those things, where you are this creature that Lex has created, but also someone who has suffered tremendously at the same time?
Well, I think it's really integral to James that first and foremost that like the emotional life is present in every scene. I mean, that's what makes his movies so inspiring and so moving, is that heart and that emotion is there. But yeah, I mean, it's a kind of heartbreaking scene, and yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was difficult to act. Like, it was difficult to move my face and emote with like three faces on top of my face. But at the same time, yeah, it's just a stellar, you know, experience.
And then having had, you know, experience with other superheroes and villains in the past, did this project almost, does it have a special place in your heart, or does it kind of fall in line with past roles as well?
I mean, I got to give it up to DC, because like DC just keeps on roping me in, and couldn't be happier. So like, just yeah, like thanks DC, thanks for making it happen. But this one feels really special to me. It really doesn't get any bigger than Superman, and yeah, I'm just to be a part of it, much like Metamorpho, just to be a part of it is like, you know, so special for me. It's the truth.
Continuing in the family, right? And Isabela, I saw that you also got to chat with Maria Canals, who portrayed the voice of Hawkgirl in the Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
What did that experience feel like for you, and how much of what she did you bring into this character?
A lot of my love for that show definitely went into this. That is kind of what my heart was tied to. I'm not like a big comic guy. I did my research for this, but yeah, I was more so into animated series. Like I have like an Avatar Last Airbender tattoo. Like I do love a good series and an ensemble. So this was perfect. I think she did an amazing job. I love her raspy voice and how we have a similar voice. And the fact that she even knows who I am is awesome, because I grew up watching her in Wizards of Waverly Place as well. And yeah, I'm just happy to continue this task of like being a Latina woman behind like representing in the justice.
Legacy.
The Justice Legacy. The Justice Legacy.
Still working on that title, I see, making it through. And then, Eddie, I wanted to pivot back to you, especially being that Mr. Terrific is this almost one of the most intelligent superheroes that we have in the DC universe, going and fitting in also what it means to have, you know, children look up to him and dress up as him. Can you talk about what that means to be that intellectual representation as well for a lot of young kids.
That's one of the greatest things about this character and the potential for this experience is the kid who's been told that he's too smart for his own good or too nerdy or quiet or awkward, a kid who wears a whimsical jacket, the jacket that may be considered uncool, but what makes him cool is his mind, is his brain. And that is something to be celebrated, that you can make a difference through your intelligence. And I'm excited to see, what kids are inspired by a character like this and get into math and science and STEM.
And we also see, just through this movie, the Justice Gang serves, without giving anything away, as these very pivotal heroes for an underrepresented and marginalized group in the movie. And kind of they come in, save the day, and at a time when Superman is busy with something else. What does that mean to you all, just kind of seeing the way that storyline played out and the way it kind of mimics what we're seeing on a global scale, where we are seeing a lot of communities kind of facing uneven odds with local governments or other aspects?
It's perfect timing, I think. This film is speaking on history. You could apply this to many historical events, but I think it's really amazing. It's really amazing that this movie is coming out. And it has a great message behind it. I was really relieved when I watched it. I was having a terrible week, consuming way too much real media, and watching this made me feel really light and happy and at least hopeful,
Yeah.
I think there's a potential for audiences to watch this film and have a renewed sense of empowerment, because I think this movie, probably haven't seen it, but the visuals are spectacular, the action is spectacular,
Yes.
but I think really it's a meditation on the human spirit, that whatever problem that you're going through, you can attack, and you can, if it's a big societal issue or interpersonal issue, you have the power to deal with the problems that you can deal with, because true heroism is resilience and empathy, and the willingness to accept the full capacity of the human condition.
I think that was one of the biggest things that even I took away from that, was seeing how James really wrote it to where it wasn't just the superheroes that saved the day, it was also the journalists and some of the everyday people that played a hand into that, which does, I feel, feed into what you both just shared, of everybody kind of shares that hope of being able to, I can make a difference and I can do something here in my own personal day-to-day.
You just gotta try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a bad guy, be a good guy. The
Right.
choice is there, for
Make
everyone.
kind cool.
Make kind cool.
Make
Exactly.
time cool.